Hello, everyone out there in podcast world. Hope you're having a wonderful day. You're listening to or watching the Service Business Mastery Podcast. I am one of your hosts, Tersh Blissett, sitting virtually next to my co-host, Joshua Crouch.
I made it on time this time. I'm here.
Yes, he
at the
made
start,
it.
not halfway through.
And I'm excited to have Keith on the show again, Keith Flores. We've had him on the show in the past, and today we're going to talk about Home Guardian, which is a platform that you've been working on for a little while now. And we've talked like, hey, let's get on the show, and we're finally getting it. We're finally making it happen. I want to know about Home Guardian, what it does, how it's disrupting the industry, and what makes it different from anything else out there on the market. But before you get started with that, can you give for those who don't know you, don't know your background, can you give a little history of you and like why there's a lot of tech guys out there that went to MIT and they said, okay, I think that the home service industry is ripe for the pickings, but you're not that guy. You've actually been in the trades. And so can you tell a little bit about your story?
Yeah. So thanks guys for having me on. It's started in the trades, 12 years old. Like just a young, dumb kid.
A wee lad.
Yes, a wee lad. And I started in the trades with my brother-in-law. He had a side job, asked me to go do it. After that, it's history. I literally fell in love with the trades. I was making some money and just kind of came up through the ranks.
I think that's why we all get tricked. We get that first check and we're like, oh.
Well, this wasn't a check. This was like I was doing a side job and
cash.
Cash. My brother-in-law tells me
Even better.
We're done. Ride your bicycle over tomorrow and come over to my house and I'll pay you. And he opens up his freezer and then, there's tons of cash stacked in his freezer.
Are we just doing trade stuff here?
Yeah. And, he pulls out, $200 and I'm a little kid.
As a 12, 13-year-old kid, that's a lot of money. Especially, I mean, you're not old, Keith, but it's been a few years since you were 12, I would assume. Yeah. So that's a lot of money back in the day.
It was. And right away I said, hey, when's the next one? And he goes, well, I think I got one coming up next weekend. And all he had me doing was pulling ductwork out. I didn't know anything. I thought it was fun.
Yeah.
So after that, I just kind of fell in love with the trades. And there's nothing about these trades I haven't done. I'm strictly HVAC, but when you say strictly HVAC, it's retrofit. So you do plumbing, you do framing, you do electrical, you do roofing and painting and taping, texturing and all this other stuff. So very well-rounded. So that's kind of my humble beginnings. My family had a company. I left the family business years and years ago. This was, I won't say the year, but I was probably 19 years old when I left the company and went to work for a guy that by the name of Lou Snavely that told me, here's 20 grand sign-on bonus and you should become an installer for me. And I said, yeah. I want, back in the day, it was like $30 an hour. And he was like, you sure? And I'm like, yeah. And he's all, but we pay this way. And I said, and it was piecework. And I said, no. I want my $30 an hour. And first day I went out, literally, I went out on 2 jobs with this guy and he sat in the truck while I installed these 2 package units. And he goes, dude, you know how much I just made? And I'm like, no. And he tells me it was like $2,400 because he got helper pay and his pay because he didn't have to split it with anybody. And he was supposed to
because you were not doing piecemeal.
Nope. And he wasn't supposed to, he was supposed to be training me, like teaching me and seeing if I knew what I was doing.
Yeah.
And he literally sat in the truck for both things. We were done within 8 hours. I go back and I go, Lou, you screwed me. You screwed me. I want that pay.
Yeah.
And he goes, you sure? You told me you had to have this. And I'm like, no, I'm sure. And I never looked back after that. I fell in love with it, and it wasn't always about everybody always says it's not about the money, but there is.
There's a part of it is.
But what I love about this part of the trade, the retrofit trade, is like at the end of the day, you've accomplished something. You can see it. You look at it. You take pictures of it. I mean, it's something like you're a craftsman. And over the years, I got better and better and better, and then, and so forth. So fast forward to now, I own HG Home Services. It's a small heating and air conditioning company out of Corona del Mar, which is Newport Beach, basically. And I started this company basically because I had an idea about tech. So about 5 years ago, I started thinking, actually 8 years ago, I really started thinking about this technology. I wanted to give my clients the opportunity to know that they were getting what they were paying for. And what I mean by that is we all sell higher efficiency systems, right?
Yeah.
Higher efficient, the more money it is, everybody's making more money, everybody's happy, the customer's saving money. Well, I had one engineer ask one of my technicians, how do I know I'm getting the 21?
I mean, that is $1 million question.
Like that.
Yeah, it's because you install something on you can install a 20-SEER system on some garbage ductwork, and the next thing you know, you actually have a 13-SEER system.
100%. So this guy was an engineer. My technician hands the phone over to him, says, talk to my boss. So he goes, look, Keith, here's the deal. I'm going to buy it from you. I just want to know how you guys come up with that efficiency. I said, well, when you buy a refrigerator and it has the little yellow tag, that's what your new system's going to come with, that little yellow tag. Yeah, but how do I know? And I'm sitting there going, no, the yellow tag, we match this up, we match that up, and it comes with this rating. And here
somebody did the testing somewhere and said that this is how efficient it is.
And
in a laboratory.
And
that's super hot and super cold and everything else in between.
That's where he got me. He goes, I'm an engineer. These things are tested in perfect conditions.
Yep.
My house is not perfect. How can in 6 months we can come back out and we'll do some calculations and it'll cost you a couple grand, whatever. And we just kind of went down that, and he goes, I'm buying it, move on. But in my head that night, I went home and I was telling my wife the situation. And I said, somebody's got to develop something like, a fuel gauge on a wall is what I kept thinking in my head. So we went down a path, me and my wife, and I kind of had some little drawings, and I went down a path and probably spent back then about $500,000 with some engineers.
Wow.
And because they told me they could build it and do all this stuff. And they came back probably within 4 months and said, we need another $500,000.
Nice.
And they had nothing to show for it. And
that'll piss you off right there.
This is a legitimate firm too. They had some drawings and stuff, but nothing like they hadn't figured it out yet. So I shelved it back then. Fast forward, I'm sitting at a startup company looking at a water company. And, I'm looking at this product that they're getting ready to build and go to market, and had all this patents. And I'm like, that's an air conditioner. It's just generating water, right? It's just literally, they're filtering water is all they were doing. And they had this it was getting the condensation and so forth, making drinking water. And so I'm talking with one of the engineers at the time, and I told him my idea, and he's like, yeah, whatever. Comes back, a week later and tells me, did you know that's like a $90 billion industry? And I'm like, it's bigger than that, but yeah, sure. And he goes, all right, pay me this, and I'll build it for you. That was almost 4 years ago. That was 4 years ago. Went through a lot of money, a lot of errors, a lot of not knowing, a lot of misunderstandings, a lot of
that didn't work.
A lot of lawyers,
yep.
And had proof of concept built, and then beta testing, and then it went on and on and on, and finally, about 8 months ago, we got it to where, all right, we got this. Mm-hmm. We got this running. We got this operating. We got this all right, now what's the next steps? The next steps have been, figuring out branding, figuring out, a style guide, which I never even thought about before, and brand book I never thought about before. Bringing in the right team members to help me with the financials, to structure and do fundraising and capital and so forth. So it was a long process. I mean, I was doing all that prior to this 8 months ago, but trying to figure out like which direction are we going to go. So fast forward to now, my system does that nobody else has out there on the market. For one, we have the patent for whole home technology. So that in itself should tell you people.
What does that mean?
Yeah, that's what I'm sure Apple, Google, and Amazon are going, why didn't we get that? It means I have the patent for whole home connectivity. So my patent is my product, but it also, if you have another product in your home and you want to be able to monitor it from one, I don't know about you guys, but I see a lot of clients, they open up their phone and they'll go, oh yeah, I got, Ring over here, I got this over here, and I got this over here. And they're all in different apps to look at their house versus one app. So that's, we kind of started going, all right, there's ways to shut off water and notify homeowners, or there's ways to pool filters and just different things. What I wanted to do is make sure, and this is what cost so much to build and took so long, is there was two things I wanted to make sure. Ease of install.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
That's always the biggest one.
I wanted ease of install.
That's where like Emerson's tried some different stuff in the past, and it's so hard to install all the little sensors and stuff, and then the cost. Yep. It worked. It's just nobody. You're not going to add another $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 on top of an install and try to explain it to a homeowner.
And then take a while to install it.
Yeah, multiple hours more to install and then set up. And
so I wanted to make sure that this thing was installed in under 2 hours. Right now it's right about 2 hours to install, depending on the home. But the other thing is I wanted to make sure it stayed connected. You walk into a 1,500 square foot home and your Bluetooth or Wi-Fi drops out, right?
Oh gosh, yeah.
I'm the EKG of the home. I wanted to make sure that we're not losing signal. So that took in itself a lot of trial and error too. So that being said, we we're trying to figure out okay, what's the best way? So what technologies out there? What can we use and utilize? Because
is it a monitoring system or is it a bridge between monitoring systems?
We're 100%. Picture your dashboard on your car. Your car tells you everything. Right front tire is going out, but it's not going to fix your right front tire.
Right.
Tail lights out. Left tail lights out.
Mm-hmm.
Not going to fix it, but it's telling you what's going on. Your quarter tank of gas. Mm-hmm. Typically, depending on what type of car you drive, the manufacturer is reaching out to you and telling you time for a service. Mm-hmm. What our device does is it tells you what your water quality is real time. So drinking water, whatever's coming out of your faucets, real time. Air quality, of course. It tells you before your air conditioners go out, before you have a roof leak, before your garage door openers go out. We monitor the entire home. The entire home. It does not matter what it is. We can pay attention to it. We have nodes that will cover everything, and we can stay connected, subterranean, through water, whatever it is, 875 feet away. So that means we can go not only in a residential home, we can do apartment complexes. We can go up to 4,000 nodes. We can do commercial buildings. We can do your average home is going to take, say the starter kit comes with 12 nodes, but you might want to add, a pool. So it's $45 to add a pool. All right, there you go. Very simple. But we can literally monitor everything in the home and tell you what your utility bills are real time. right? So if you only want to spend, say, $200 a month, and it's the 20th of the month, with AI and machine learning built into it, it's going to start telling you, hey, turn your air conditioner up to 78. You're going to have to sweat it out the rest of the month to stay at that $200. It's like your gas. Like,
yeah.
If you have a quarter tank of gas and $20 in your wallet, you're not going to drive 600 miles.
Yeah. And you're not going to smash the gas pedal every time you leave a red light.
So the difference for me was like, I wanted, I've heard all over the place, hey, you can sell this thing for, $10,000 for a home, but I'm not looking for the uber luxury. I'm looking for every person out there that should have this in their home. So now you can do true budgeting for your home, because a lot of people try and budget, but when your utility bills come, they just come.
Right.
When your air conditioner breaks, it just breaks. When your roof leaks, you got to replace it. Or when there's I guarantee this has happened to you guys. You go underneath your sink and you notice all this mold grew underneath your sink, and you're like, what the hell?
What the hell happened here? Yeah.
And that could turn into a massive problem.
Yep.
Our stuff is telling you outdoor humidity, indoor humidity, there's a spike over here. Sends alert to you, the homeowner, and to your contractor that installed it. So both people
I was going to ask about the benefit from a contractor, like, because most companies, I mean, there is a growing number that have multi-trades, but most have one trade. Like, they'll say HVAC, that's where they found out about this because they want to monitor air quality and some other things and potentially upsell some other equipment things to help out. What's the benefit to them? Because, like, installing this for like a garage door thing and a pool and some of these things that they don't do, what's the benefit from them? And is there some sort of network that they can work with to, like, if they have the referral partners and all that kind of stuff? How does that all work?
So the benefit for them is, like, think about this. You guys been in the trades long enough that if you're just a heating and air conditioning guy, you have a roofing partner that you use all the time. You have a guy, like, you have your own network of people. Mm-hmm. So you're creating leads for these guys. It literally is a retention hub for whoever installs this system.
So they're going to come to you, and then you send it out to the other contractors.
Yeah.
What happens if you put this thing in, and then all of a sudden you sold somebody an XV18, and it's like, well, it's actually a 13 SEER.
So here's where, I am sure a lot of guys are doing this now. I started doing it probably about 12, maybe, I'm trying to think when it was. Probably 10 years ago, I started really doing it. I always put up to 18 SEER.
Yeah.
That's what everybody does now. And if you're not doing it, you better do it.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to tell those people, hey, here's the efficiency. It's a gas gauge, right? It's telling them, hey, this is where you're hovering at. Hot days, cold days, whatever it is. The good thing about it is most of the time it's ductwork, right?
Mm-hmm.
Undersized, whatever. So do it right. You should be doing this anyways the proper way.
Mm-hmm. The problem is like in South Georgia, the ductwork's in the attic, and it's a gazillion degrees up there and like 300% humidity. So a technician, the moment you tell them, hey, you got a duct job today, they're like, I'm calling in sick. It sucks.
I get it. I mean, I've done business in Las Vegas,
Yeah.
So I know what the temperatures get, but also you want to, if you're literally offering something to a client and you're telling
for sure
what it is, you should be doing the right thing anyway.
Yeah, you're right.
And no matter what, somebody's going to come along and tell them, and I guarantee you guys have dealt with this. The superhero contractor comes in behind you and goes, oh, they upsold you, blah, 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 blah.
Yep.
Now you're being fully transparent. You're telling them, hey, I'm going to tell you what this is. And then guess what? We can figure out how to get it to where it needs to be.
Mm-hmm.
There's never been anything like filters. Every filter company, every company that's out there currently right now that tells you, hey, we'll send an alert when your filters, when it's time to change your filter. That's a timer.
Yep.
That's a timer. I've taken every one of those products, given them all to my engineers, and I've probably spent about $300,000 on other people's products from overseas to here, given them my engineers and said, tear these apart, tell me what they're using. And all of it's old technology. Our technology is like the latest and greatest, right? And we literally we're telling you static pressures. We're telling you when you need to do things real time. It's not a guess. It's not a timer. We're explaining to clients.
How long does it take for it to figure out the SEER rating?
Well, it's going to be your first year, it's ear, because we haven't been through all the seasons. Remember that.
Okay.
So we're doing ear first, and then after a year, it will. We're like the people that are on my team. So Bill Baum is my CTO. Mm-hmm. If you look him up, he was the CTO for REI, West Marine. He was in charge of $100 million budgets. Like, he's the real deal. I got Mark Katz. He was the CFO of Burlington. You know,
Burlington Stores. Yeah.
Don't say Burlington Coat Factory because he's the one that changed it. But he took him. He took him to an IPO, and he was the CFO for I think 10 years. Peter Dagone. He does all my financials. He is the founder of Keurig. I got. You
got a whole slew of them. I'm looking at the About Us page. I mean, these are
That's quite the team.
That is a team right here.
We really put together. I went outside the industry because, for one, I wanted to keep it quiet for years because I didn't know how long this would really take. Uh-huh. Two, I wanted to think outside the box, and that was, really thinking outside the box. I mean, we've had, utility companies coming to us. We've had insurance providers coming to us now. We have senators coming to us now. We have everybody is home warranty companies coming to us now. Everybody's coming to us going, hey, when can we get our hands on this so we can, start giving instant rebates is what we're hearing more and more, because the data is, a true factor of how people can make decisions. Like California, we're the biggest idiots out here. We say, hey, you know what? We're going to go all electric, everybody, but we don't have the power grids to sustain. So on hot days, don't run your air conditioner and don't charge your Tesla, but you have to have those.
But that's the only way you can drive.
So let's take away gas heating, right? And put little Ethel that had a beach house that only had a gas-fired furnace. Now she has a heat pump. So now she has air conditioning. So now she's drawing more off the power grid. And when I sat in front of SoCal Edison, I was like, what? In what world does this make sense? They're like, we need to make some decisions and we don't know. We just know heat pumps are more energy efficient than gas. So I'm like, so they're throwing darts at a dartboard, right? We don't control anything. What we do control is the thermostat.
I was going to ask, is it an algorithm that figures this stuff out, or are you actually do we have to
or is it uploading data you mentioned AI and some of that stuff, as far as the data it receives, it's analyzing and then learning? Or how does
do you put a device on your refrigerant lines to be able to test the pressures and stuff?
You name it, we've covered it. And that's what's great about it. When I say water quality, we actually are piercing the water line and literally going into the water line so we can actually get real flow. And I'll tell you what, I don't know who your water guys are, or if you guys have a sponsor for water filtration. So tell me now.
We don't.
Okay. Halo does what it says, because we have it running in a non-Halo system. Uh-huh. And at my house, and my water quality is pristine.
Really? And Plumbers take note.
Yes, Halo does work. And Glenn, the owner of Halo, is all over this thing. He's driving me nuts.
Steve Moores was he was the president of Dynamic, right?
He still is. Yeah.
Okay, because we through a coaching organization, Church and I are both a part of. We rebranded that stuff, and we sold that stuff in the HVAC companies I was a part of, and then Church I know did too. And it's such a hard thing because people, again, how do you prove that the UV light is doing its job, or is it's such a nobody really knows. They're like, well, it does its job, it kills some stuff.
The light's on, so it's working.
But what about the rest of the home and everything else that's going on? It's very hard to know.
Think about this. Now you'll know. Now you'll know your air quality. It's like literally, I'll show you real quick. This is your sexy ass screen. This is what mounts on your wall.
Okay.
But got tons of nodes. But I am looking for the air quality. Most air quality sensors sit. I wish I had one. Sit like someplace, and it's just stagnant air just sitting there.
Yeah.
My engineers took it a step further. This guy right here, little magnets on the back. So if you want, but you also can screw it in. On the front of it, it has a little fan built in. So it's pulling air across it. So it's not just stagnant air. So now you can put it in your baby's room, in your gym. You can put multiple throughout your whole entire house. Remember, you can put as many as you want in there. And now you can be telling your wife, hey, the baby's fine. The air quality in there is good. This is why. And you can do before and afters with like dynamic solutions and that type of stuff. Microfarads, that type thing. What knowing it, if your UV light bulb is still running and operating properly, it's not
what the effectiveness of it is. So you know when to change it out.
It's all guesses right now, right?
It is. 2 years. Change it out every 2 years.
Everybody guesses. I mean, we literally are reading. Wait, here's another cool node, right? Static pressures. Like nobody does that. Nobody's doing stuff like that. Let's see here. Here's another one that I really like. My engineers, they really took a lot of time and talking with me and for installs and so forth. Oh, that's the HVAC sensor. Sorry. This right here. I know it's hard to see. I'll get them in. I'll get you guys one in your hands soon. This basically goes inside your electrical panel.
Okay.
And you guys have seen Emporia or something like that.
Yeah, I have Emporia in my house.
Talk about how hard was it to get it to fit in your panel? This guy, magnetic on two sides. Pop it in the side. Really small, slender, because, and I'm not trying to, the E company has this big board that doesn't fit inside your panel. This is slim, nice and easy to put in there. And then you know how big those CT clamps are, right?
Yep. Oh yeah, those are tiny. Yeah.
Compared to the other companies. Come on.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Big difference.
We started messing with everybody's stuff, trying to figure out like, why is it taking so long to put like that type of system into a house? What would make it easier? So we've kind of done all the work to figure out like different levels and so forth of how hard would it be too. It's super simple. The app, so there's an app that literally does a step-by-step for the installers or the service technician. It's literally, it's not rocket science whatsoever. Anybody can do it. We have an app fee that contractors will love. The app fee is $9 a month to the consumer.
Wow.
$3 goes back to the contractor forever.
How many nodes are included in that?
So your base station kit, you get the base station, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then there's another tray, 10, 11, 12 nodes, plus 16 CT clamps. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else. We are reading CFM, guys.
Real time?
Yep.
That's good.
Tell me anybody that's done any of this before. Like we are literally able to, we have phases going now of new product already in the pipeline. We plan on just covering the entire home. It's not just one product. It's literally, and like what you asked earlier, Josh, how does it benefit the contractor? Think about me. I literally will send a technician out for water, electricity, doesn't matter. We will first send our first line of defense is, all right, no problem. We'll send a technician right over. Then that technician will make a decision if we can handle it or if we need to bring outside people in, like a restoration company or something like that. Now you're knowing, like, you're like developing those relationships which you already had, but now you're handing it off to a company that the client knows that you're deeply invested with as well. So you can take care of all your clients. Like, I hear all this retention hub bullshit out there. Sorry, my language, but like literally I keep on hearing retention hub. This is a retention hub. This is telling the homeowner real time what's going on, the contractor real time what's going on. And in the app, there's, hey, I don't need the filter. I just need the filter drop shipped to my door. Cool, opt out. How many times have you had to go out on a 4th of July weekend and go change somebody's filter and you're like,
they're pissed off because it's a no cool on a holiday weekend.
You charge them extra because it's a holiday.
And then it's come to find out it's the air filter issue.
And here we're able to start telling them before a holiday, hey, your compressor's drawing high amps. Hey, there's something going on over here. Hey, this versus just guessing. And right tech, right call, slow down your warranty process. Like this is going to control, and we're Matter compliant, which is big. A lot of companies aren't Matter compliant yet. We are already Matter compliant. We're literally plug and play. We have other softwares that we're looking at tying into, all the bigger ones. I feel a true disruption for the industries, for the tradesmen. I'm not trying to eliminate service technicians, but I'm also trying to eliminate the wasted calls and the headache calls. And
techs don't like those either, though.
Yeah.
Like,
oh no, I hated
it. Well before this, like I used to have videos when we had no cools and no heats in Wisconsin, and be like, hey, check these 4 things before our service tech gets there. And then we would save some service calls. And my service manager at the time was like, why are you doing that? I want to get inside the home. I'm like, do you really want to go flip a switch or see if the breaker was turned off in the winter and is back on in the spring? Like, for $99, and you got to go tell them it's $99. I just flipped the thing. Yeah, everything's fine.
Yeah.
It's not a good feel, and it's a waste of time for the tech. And sure, you could have them run the play, right, and do the whole 2-hour thing. Like, but at the end of the day, if you just flip the switch and everything's working fine, do you really feel good doing that?
Budgeting? No. And I think that this is great for budgeting tools for homeowners, but also for contractors. It's teeing the client up for the next service call saying, hey, your system's 22 years old. Look at the amps. I don't have a crystal ball, but it's alerting you, saying how much you're wasting, and it's alerting you, telling you it's drawing high amps. Like, there's something going on. Your temperature split is only 12 degrees. Like, it's not just me telling you. Yep. It's Home Guardian over here telling you. Like, these guys are telling you. And we are branding this specifically for the client or the contractor, which is our client. So your logo will be in there, and everybody else has that right now. But
it's even more branding for you.
Yeah, it's all about branding. There's nothing that I have not thought of on this, and it's really because I've been talking with all my clients and talking to the clients going, hey, what would you like to see? What's your first 5 items that you would want to know inside your home? And it really boils down to what's drawn the most. My wife was big on the water quality. She wanted to know what we're bathing in, because like when you're taking a shower, you're absorbing that water. So she wanted to know, and she's a health freak. So,
well, not only that, like it's like appliances are damaged by hard water and stuff. So,
yeah, I get so jazzed on this stuff because I'm like so excited that I actually was able to take it to the finish line. And I think the big reason why nobody has done it before is, from chips to everything else has been really hard to source. We are building everything here in the US. This is American made. This is not some Chinese knockoff Timo
it's
stuff.
Not American assembled.
No. Yeah, I will tell you, we have to source our chips because we don't have chips here in the US.
Right. Yeah.
But everything else is being built here in the US. My engineers are all based here in the US. this is something that I really pride myself on, because blue collar guy myself, I know it's all about, red, white, and blue for the US. Blue collar guys love buying American products. And this is a product that you can stand behind and tell your clients like, hey, look, if it shows that we are not doing something properly, we are going to take care of it. That's how every privately owned company and PE-backed firm should look at this as, hey, we are not doing these clients justice, because it's going to start getting called out no matter what. I don't care. The AI revolution is here. People are going to start figuring out like, hey, these guys sold me a 20 SEER system and it's doing 14 SEER. And you got some knucklehead over here going, yeah, look at this.
This garbage install over here.
They could take a utility bill from before and after, same months, year over year, and kind of see that they probably tell the difference and pretty quickly. And you can because you can see the different energy usage and what that looks like. Someone's going to figure it out, and that's going to be the next Dateline story that blows. Like, all these guys selling high efficiency aren't actually fixing anything, and you're not actually saving what you say you're going to save because you're not touching the ductwork, or you're not fixing the other problems.
So the other part of this is like, it's literally backing you as the contractor, as the service technician. This is, look, it's telling you this. It's not static out there. And the other great thing is, I was looking to do 10-year batteries on these things. That was another $1 million.
I can imagine.
Maybe on the next run. But our batteries last 3 years. So
that's pretty good.
I mean, better than less than a year. I mean, that's great.
Think about your Ring. I don't know if you guys have Ring, but I have a Ring, and I'm always having to go and plug it in and charge it. I mean,
I have
like
Google Home cameras, the Google Home cameras, and every time you turn around, it's like you have 21 hours left. It's like, great.
Pain in the ass.
Get it and take it down, charge it.
So think about it, like, this just came up with my engineers, and they're probably not happy with me, but there's no battery scale on was built into our nodes. I said, guys, we have to do this. Like, stop everything, put that in there. So everything has it. The whole thing behind this is your house should be green, not by green, like saving the earth green, but green. Everything's running good. You're just like your car. Like, think about like when you had an analog car where it was just like, nothing was telling you anything. You broke down on the side of the road and you couldn't go, well, the check engine light was on. No, it wasn't, because you didn't have them.
Right, exactly.
Your home is your most valuable asset, right? It doesn't tell you anything. This is telling you everything. You're gonna see savings on your soon to be. I can't talk much about it, but your mortgages. It's gonna hit your mortgages. It's gonna hit your insurance bills for sure, and your utility bills. So take all that, and it like literally makes sense to every homeowner. It's not rocket science. And talk about sexy. The boxes are sexy. The screen's really sexy. Like everything.
I like this.
Well, Keith, we know you know how to do a presentation. You always are well dressed when we see you. Like, you're the only one in the industry I've ever seen give Tersh a run for his money. So.
Oh yeah. That's what I love. I see Keith, I'm like, yeah, let's go. I love the fact that it's not normal, and that's what I like about it.
I literally have like brought in the coolest guys to really dive into this thing and make sure that everybody's gonna, for one, want to offer it and understand. Yeah. That's big for me. Like the screen, like our screen. This screen is like no other. It's basically two iPhones side by side.
Okay.
Right? You can turn it this way too, just so you know.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it doesn't matter. But this is your dashboard in your home. And if you don't want it on your wall, which you're nuts not to want it on your wall, you can go put it in a closet.
Does that have to be wired?
Yes.
Or is that
this is your hub. This right here is the thing that all the nodes communicate to, and then from here it goes up to the cloud.
Got it. Yeah.
So
you probably want that close to a router or somewhere near a router. No. It's got plenty of distance.
We had thought about that one too. We have basically put antennas on the back where basically we can drop an antenna in the wall and it shoots up. So you can use this as a thermostat, or you don't have to use it as a thermostat.
Oh, okay.
So it's either or. I was not planning on doing a thermostat. I was really looking at doing everything else and then tying into a thermostat. And then my engineers came to me and go, hey.
Well, I feel like that's been the push, right? Like the last 5 years is that there's been, I mean, I'm sure you know who all these people are, I don't have to say their names, but like there's been a push to control the home and have memberships run through thermostats. Yep. Especially for the HVAC industry.
Is that so? Talking in slightly technical, the network that it runs on, is it 2.4 gigs or G, or is it 5G?
It's G3.
Okay.
It's different type.
So it's not going to interfere with anything else.
No.
Got it.
We are again, dove deep into this, went down a rabbit hole trying, like my biggest.
I can tell you've thought of like everything.
I feel like you've been in a cave for a few years and you just like finally came up for air, and you've just been like a mad scientist in a cave.
Like Iron Man over here.
It was like literally like it's been hard for me for the past 4 years not to talk about this.
I know whenever you and I seen each other in San Diego, it was like, man, there's so much cool stuff. I can't talk about it all, but just know something's cool coming. And I was like, all right, cool. Got me on the edge of my seat.
Yeah, it's like literally one of those things that I've had going on for so long now. And there is a lot of guys in the industry, some big players that know about it. And known about it for a little while, longer than the 2 months that I've started posting and showing. I mean, our first video out there between all the platforms, we got 2 million views and over 1,000 shares. I'm sitting there going, I wish I could see who's sharing it because I want to know.
Well, I know I shared it a couple of times on TikTok. So
yeah, I'm like, man, it's pretty amazing. So I know there's a necessity for something like this.
Yeah.
Has been for years. It's ripping the
band. I feel like there's products that some will do the thermostat and it will kind of put some stuff together to give you like airflow and maybe a couple things about the filter, or there's other things that just monitor airflow and give you little things you stick in the ductwork or whatever. It's just nothing that does more. It's just been like that's it, which is it's been very successful from what I've seen. But then you have all these other industries that don't have anything that they can do for this house stuff. It's very segmented, like you said.
It's very fragmented, and think about like nobody had a pathway to market either. So you got an engineer. One of you guys said earlier, why hasn't an engineer like done this and kind of started going through it? I have a pathway to market because I know so many people in the trade that like literally need something to retain their clients. I had a perfect story was we had a client that we showed up to do our service 6 months after, and guess what? They had a whole new water filtration system and a tankless in, and they literally, their response to it was my son was, oh, I didn't know you guys did this. But if they would have had this in the house, we would have known something was going on and we would have went out there and they would have known we did this.
I've had that happen so many times. And being in marketing, it hurts my heart when people like, oh, I didn't realize you did that. I'm like, oh, I've been posting about it. I've been emailing about it. Like, I don't know how many times I got to beat you over the head with it, but I keep telling you this is what I do.
And it's, it's out there. There's nothing. You got industries that have, like you said, they might measure, something, air quality, or they might measure water flow, or a leak because it finally touched the two little nodes on the bottom. We're not reading if there's water flowing in the house. We're reading humidity. That's where everybody goes wrong, because by the time water's flowing in the house,
it's already
too late.
Damn, yeah,
too late. And that's the game changer. All the different things. Roofing contractors, they have nothing. Could you imagine players out there that now you're telling your client when there's roof leaks prior to, oh, there's a stain on my roof, I need a new roof. Garage door companies that, they have to wait for the garage door to fail No, you don't want little Susie stuck in their car.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Freaking out all of a sudden. Yeah.
Now, hey, it's drawing high amps. This is what's going on.
Yep.
All those little things is like really like kind of came together, and we wanted to build something that was whole home connectivity along with, future of commercial, multifamily, that sort of thing. So, Airbnb is another one that, we're looking at right now.
Oh man, we had a terrible experience with the Airbnb last weekend. The air conditioning didn't work. The master bedroom where I happened to be sleeping, it was like 15 degrees hotter than just outside the door. The fan didn't circulate air because they put it too high up in the ceiling. It was the dumbest thing in the world, and it was so dumb. I mean, it's $7,000 to stay there for 4 days, and the air conditioning didn't work, and the water heater didn't work. And
so now you complain about it. You're gonna try and get some money back and all that stuff. But think about the owner of that property. If he had something like this, it's
new.
Not that you're making it up. He can see it and preemptively handle it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because I do Airbnbs all the time, and you're right. There's like some of them, are not cheap whatsoever. And so next thing you know, you're pissed off because you don't have hot water or you don't have air conditioning or whatever it is. It's like it frustrates you. Or you have landlords that aren't going to collect rent because the air conditioner's out.
Yep. Because
in their contract it says, this house is with air conditioning, so they start prorating it, and now guess what? There's problems. There's so many different avenues, and I didn't want anything like that was so stagnant. There's so many products out there that just give you basic information and a lot of it's not real information. It's a lot of fake stuff that's floating around out there that, we monitor your air quality, or we monitor when you need a filter. Well, how are you monitoring when you need a filter? That's a timer. So
just time. Yeah.
It's timer. Think about your client that
doing actual resistance. Like,
do
we have static pressure resistance?
Like, think about your client that you don't have to go to every 6 months. Maybe it's every 9 months. Maybe it's once a year because they truly never use their new air conditioner. And so you can start looking at this, and you can either opt out of the service, which is really easy for the client. So that if they spilt like a bucket of water in their house or a bottle of water or something, nope, don't need you. And it sends the signal directly to the contractor. Hey, false alarm.
Don't worry about it. Yeah. That's really cool.
It's a true, again, I can't say it enough. It's a true retention hub, and it's, has so many different capabilities to keep on going.
I'm excited. I'm excited to check it out. That's for sure.
It is.
For contractors that want to find out where they can get this, is it shipped direct? You guys go through?
We're going to go directly to contractors. We're not going through a Home Depot. We've looked at those, and we're not going to a supplier. It's factory direct.
Okay, that's good to know. And then the site that you guys can find more information on this is hghomeguarding.com. It's been on the ticker down the bottom if you watched the video. We will make sure in the show notes that information is live, so that way if you have more questions, you want to reach out to their team to understand more about this and get pricing and all that good stuff, you guys can definitely do that.
And just so you guys know, hopefully Josh is going to help me out with the website. Like, that was the last.
I know. We had you on here, and I'm like, I never answered on Facebook.
that was my last thing I was even thinking about, and then all of a sudden I was like, oh crap! Just like the brand book, I wasn't thinking any of that type stuff, and I was just focusing on the big.
That's the way it goes sometimes.
100%. But
Keith, really, it's cool hanging out with you, man.
Thanks for having me on, guys.
I think we talked for like as long as this episode was. We probably talked for 45 minutes before the episode aired.
Oh yeah, that's
we always have a good time chatting with you, just industry stuff and whatnot.
Yeah. No, cool. I wish you the absolute best on this success for this too, because I know it's there. I'm stoked. So as soon as if you have any questions about this, don't hesitate to reach out to Keith. He's a wealth of knowledge. Make sure you're following him on TikTok and Instagram and everywhere else on social media to get more information as well. With that being said, I hope everybody has a wonderful and safe week. Until we talk again next time, we'll see you later.
Thanks, guys.
See ya.